Hello, everyone, and welcome to Gen AI Con. Today, we're going to be focusing on the film industry, and I'm really delighted to have with us here today Krista Jäntti, who is the founder of EventuallyXR, and she helps design XR experiences as well as virtual experiences and applications as well. So really looking forward to hearing your perspective on virtual production and some of the generative AI tools that have come out recently that are going to help with virtual production and filmmaking.
Yeah, thank you, Frankie. And let's just get started. So originally I was planned to talk more about virtual production, but I have recently got into more into video production tools. So I kind of have a little bit on the both sides. But without further ado, let's jump in the topic. Yeah, this was a nice introduction, but anyway, a few words about me. I was voted quite recently to be in the top 100 women of the future. And what comes to film industry, I've been advising two projects. One of it still has a secrecy name Bucharest Baby, but it's a drama series ordered by Warner Bros. And then I was advisor in Elizabeth, the original series last year.
Fantastic.
Let's see.
Just to say, you can probably share your full screen as well. That might be.
Yes. I had a little bit.
I think it's on the right-hand side, the share button there. Perfect.
Yes, now it's, I had a clicker problem. But let's start from the pipeline. Pipeline usually starts from screenwriting, and there are good tools nowadays that help you to compose a nice storyline. And I started using ChatGPT like many others. There's an extra C there, never mind that. But in the end, I kind of wanted to have more structure and more focused on screenwriting. So recently I have become friends with a tool called Pseudo-Write. And I will step into that pretty soon. But few things what I have found when I have written a story with these large language models is that they should really have a supporting role. Don't let them to be master of your production, because otherwise they draw your story towards more generic style, more mainstream. And of course, you want to keep your original voice and your story to be unique. So it's good to be a supportive helper, but don't let that take your storyline to another direction. And as I said, if you don't give enough context to the prompt you're giving a task, you are going to get very, very generic, very boring answers. So have a patience. I usually don't have the patience, but I'm learning to have some. Give the context, what kind of things you want to get help from, and you get better answers. But here is a screen capture of my recent project of a tool called Pseudo-Write. And it helps you to rewrite some chapters. You can define a style, what kind of styles you are looking after. And you can highlight, for example, here I could highlight the word home office desk. Then I would go on the upper middle and put describe, and it would help me to describe what kind of office I have. Or if I want to get some help, what is my main character? Where is she born? What motivates her? I can go to brainstorm and have a completely different tool, but still it's included in this same app. So it's kind of very nicely structures your project and gives you a helping hand. But the next step is usually storyboard. And of course, storyboard, there are a lot of tools that help you to make a storyboard, which you can then use with the pitch deck. But the problem what I have come to see with these AI storyboards is that, well, you basically feed in your script and then it generates automatically different kind of chapters and creates images of those chapters, but the images are not very good quality. You have to very specifically define the angle of your image, where is the camera, what is the person doing. So I would really suggest to make those storyboard pictures outside of this tool and then download these images, what you have done with other tools, to your storyboard. Let's jump here. This is an example of boards called AI tool storyboard. And the original images, I wasn't not happy with them. I tried to prompt inside the tool those images, but I couldn't get those what I wanted. So these are made inside Midjourney and then downloaded to this app. But what you can have inside this app is the other parts, they work very well. So there's always like these have come out from the script. So it's easier and more faster for you to define different kind of chapters in the storyboard when there is no more blank. It's generated with AI tools, so it's easier to modify those little things and get you going. But how do I actually make those images to the storyboard? Or nevertheless, I make my all AI images with the same kind of pipeline. And it's not that fast, actually, because there is a lot of steps you have to do if you want to get good quality AI images, because they are usually used in reference images or, as I said, in storyboard, many use of AI images. So this is my pipeline. You may have some other process, but this is I've been using for at least a year now. So I first have some scenery or person or something in my mind. I go Google to see what kind of images there are already or exist, or I go to Pexels or Pixabay or those kind of sources. Then I use it in the Midjourney. Please describe how machine vision is seeing this image, because those kind of words I can use when I compose my prompts. So it's easier to come up with the prompts when you have something that is used by the same tool. Or the other starting point, what I have, I use DALL-E a lot, compose text to image, because DALL-E is very nice tool. And you can iterate the same image again and again and remove and add things with a text. You don't have to use Photoshop. So either I now have a reference image from Google or Pexel or Pixabay, or then I have made that in DALL-E. And I use that now as a reference image in the tool called Midjourney. And you can apply different kind of weight. How much do you want that reference image to be used? A little or a lot? And then you, of course, prompt what other things you want to be in there. And usually it's not still perfect. You have to still start working on that image to get it exactly right. So the next step is actually Adobe Firefly. And there are very nice in-painting or out-painting tools, meaning that you can modify certain spots in the image, remove things or add things. And before using those images, I usually still use yet another tool called Topaz, Gigapixel, or then magnific, which is more expensive and more recent, but a little bit better than Topaz when it comes to human faces. Okay, now I'm mostly talking about video production from image to video. And these are the tools I have tested, except stability AI. And of course, I don't have, unfortunately, access to Sora yet. I'm not part of Red Team who has access to Sora. But these other tools I have tested, and mostly I have used Runway. But the problem, of course, these AI tools is that you can typically generate only between 2 and 5 seconds of video. And that kind of narrows your mind, or sets your mind what you can do with these tools, because they produce so short clips. Runway actually allows you to produce 18-second clips, but the quality drops after 8 seconds. And the problem is very limited controllability. When you get the output, you cannot iterate it. Yeah, let's change that bit, and let's do this more. Keep this in images and with text. You can do nowadays that, but not yet with videos. And here is an example of what happens if you try to extend your video. This is a 30-second video, which I made for meditation purposes, and added music as well. So let's see this one. And I'll stop here. As you can see, the quality starts dropping after 8 or 10 seconds. It goes more dreamlike. The colors are more blurry. And I have already scaled this video with the Topaz video tool, but still I can't get the quality better than what it is. Yet another example from my recent story, how much you can control the tools, where the camera moves. In this example, I directed the camera move up a bit and then zoom to the eyes. And the closer it gets to 8 seconds, again, you can see the quality starts dropping. No music in this one. Yeah, it starts to get blurry. So the first 4 to 5 to 6 seconds are quite good, actually, but then we're starting to have the problems. Another problem was that originally in my story, the main character was typing with her hands, but no matter how much I tried and iterated, I couldn't get her hands to move. I even used the motion brush, and I did all the tricks. But then I realized I have to change the script. It's easier to change the script and actually start to trying to make the video exactly what you want. Here is another example of a picture, how much you can actually control the output. There are something called motion brushes, where you can define what objects in the picture are going to have a motion and to what direction. For example, here I use 2 motion brushes. One is on the screen, so I want the computer screen to look like the main character is playing Counter-Strike. And then I wanted the face to go a little bit down because the character feels a little bit disappointed when losing the game. And the other one I added here is a camera movement to have a little bit parallax effect, making the camera move to the left, a little bit tilt. Let's see how it came out. as you can see, I cannot control my main character, which is called she's called Nina, and the face looks completely different than in the first video. So this is something I feel a little bit pity, and is something that I cannot do anything about it. So I just have to live with that. So to summarize this, working with Gen AI video tools is painful, but it's still fun. There's less controllability to compare to what you today can have with text and images. And also there is no good feedback loop that you get the output and then you can say, let's change this bit and then remake it. But actually, I think you have to also embrace the unpredictability. Sometimes because you cannot control the tool surprises you. And then you actually, as I said, you are starting to make changes to the original script. So it's easier to actually change the script than to gain full controllability to the video tool. And what I have learned is that the best controllability with video production tool is a tool called Comfy UI that is based on stable diffusion, but as you can see, it's not the easiest tool to take into use and set up. So I'm still having this pain with whoever is in the same boat. Okay, another way to produce AI video is, of course, video to video, meaning that you have a source video, then you add a style reference. Yeah, you want your output look like this. So you take all the movements from the original video, add the style references, and then you have a new video. And I have this runway, Domo, Kyber, and Wiggle. I would have loved to test also motion. It looks quite nice. Runway, not so good in video to video. Kyber also, it's a bit staggering how the animation works. But Domo AI, animative and motion, they are more smooth. Again, adding some examples. Source video from Pexel. I wanted to use this. The main character is a coder, so she types a lot. So this is just a normal typing, maybe a little bit more office work. And because I wanted to have a more gaming or more dystopic style in the output video, I made a picture in the Midjourney on the right. And then you can see, oopsie, output, the first one, and I was not happy with this. I iterated and iterated so many times. Every time I get a result, I started to get male hands with the hair on the back of the hand. I was like, hey, women can code, women can type computer, come on. How is it so hard? Even the source video, they have female nails. And I even added nail polish to the reference image. That's, please understand, this is a female hands. And what happened in the latest iteration? They, of course, changed the hands and environment pink, because if I put the words female, women hands, then of course you want to see pink. And again, some hairy hands are in the background. Like, okay, I cannot use it. So I started using image to video. It looks better. So sometimes you just cannot have the output you want. Another test with Domo AI. This is a source video from Pexel. A guy is dancing, and I chose the animation to be 3D cartoon style. So let's take a look on that. no music in this video, no sound. It was only 10 seconds. You can extend this to 20 seconds, but after that, you have to start teaching, stitching these videos together to get longer videos. Again, it's not perfect, but it's better, in my opinion, than what Runway does with the same kind of style references. And then kind of making of a story on the tool called Wiggle, where you can take your own video or somebody else's video, then create a character of your own, and then make the character move like in the original video. And I used my own dances. I'm not going to play that. This is still image. It's already awkward enough. And then I prompted in Midjourney a female bounty hunter. And of course, I didn't realize, of course, if I prompt a bounty hunter, it's going to have a gun in her hand. So I removed the gun because I didn't want bounty hunter to dance with the gun in her hand. And after that, in the Wiggle, I get dancing bounty hunter, but it has a white background. You can choose between green screen or white background. And white background looks quite boring, because if you are a bounty hunter who is hunting some aliens, I want her to live in a spaceship. So I prompted the spaceship. Then I used another AI tool, a rotoscoping AI tool, remove the white background, put a spaceship on the background. Then I wasn't happy with the color grading. It looked quite boring. So I yet prompted another image. I wanted to have more sci-fi vibe. So in the tool called DaVinci Resolve, you can take the color grading and lighting from a reference image and combine these two. And yeah, it's far away from perfect. So bear with me. I'm not yet professional in using color grading. So I would have to spend more time masking the dancer and matching the color grading with the background. But here you are. My bounty hunter loves it.
Great dancing.
Thanks. And yes, you can do this in other way as well, from video to video, but this is Wonder Dynamics, and it's video to 3D. So again, my awkward dancing. I used to be a dancer a long time ago. And you can export the motion capture to a character, whatever you want, or you can use reference characters, which Wonder Dynamics have quite many. So here, not the music, but here I am dancing as a robot, and it's not perfect. So you can see sometimes a little bit disturbance in the foot or hands area. But anyway, this is a nice way to test, and you can polish it in your video tool of choice. And this is not my production. This is taken from Runway. But yet another thing is that from 3D to video is yet another way to make a cheap production. You can use quite sticky figures. There are so many ready-made animations, for example, in Adobe's Mixamo, that you can use. And then you can take those videos into Runway and, of course, again, define what is going to be the style. Of course, I do diving, and this is not the best way to dive, but anyway, you get the picture of how you can use this. To fasten your animation, yet another tool I like to mention is a French cascadeur. It just smoothens. It's a basically keyframe animation, like animation softwares are, but it calculates if you move the hand here from here, it calculates the movements in a between, so you don't have to make all the stop motions by yourself. But again, you can make really weird movements if you are not careful. Here you can see. Yet another thing I'd like to mention, many of these tools are yet not that production ready. You can use some bits here and there, but actually I like this Quebric thing. I think that's quite production ready because you can scale that to 8K backgrounds. And it has, as many tools nowadays have, the in-painting and out-painting possibilities, and they have come very handy. So I use out-painting and in-painting nowadays a lot in different kinds of tools. But what is the separating thing is actually that there is not 3D, but like 2 and 5D. It's a little bit more depth than the flat backgrounds. For example, what I have with the space bounty hunter. So in this tool, you can make 3 different layers and have a little bit depth. And if you are going to have a parallax effect, it is going to look better with a tool like this. Sounds. Yes. I have used a lot of a tool called Mubert. It's one of those AI music tools, and it's not a new one, but I kind of have started to like it because there is a lot of variation in the track they produce. Many AI sound tools have the problem of being quite monotonous. So this is why I like this Mubert. But I recently tested also sound effects tools. Half a year ago, they were really, really bad. But lately, what has been happening in the recent 3 months, there has been a lot of new tools, and the quality is starting to get better all the time. They still have this flat and metallic vibe, and sometimes a little bit disturbance and sounds like white noise in the background, but there are starting to be better sounds, for example, thunder, rain, machinery, explosions. They are starting to be production ready. But when you go into human sounds like crying, laughter, scream, they sound really creepy. You have to iterate multiple times to get it right. So I would use some library sound library tool still for human sounds. And of course, there is a lot of variation. You cannot guide even less than with videos. You can guide sounds. So it's a really black box when you prompt and something comes out of it. You have to iterate at least 20 times to get the right one. And I'm still thinking that what is going to happen at the Foley artist in the future, this is maybe one of the things that are going to be risked. AI is going to be maybe taking the jobs. Okay, so this is my test on Optimizer AI. View something. Typing with gaming key. I'm not a professional, but to my ear, they are starting to sound okay. But of course, if you're making high quality films, it's not competent enough. But for indie films, it's starting to be. And the future is perhaps looking like this, that you can actually download your video and the AI is suggesting sounds for your video with the right pace. So you can go and see the article of Sonic Vision LM. If you haven't, there are multiple examples. And this is starting to little by little, we are going to get there. So I want to play the original scenery from Titanic, where Rose is blowing the whistle. And then what AI have made. It sounds more that the main character has a panic, but you can hear the water and the whistle, which is quite amazing. So what happens in this example? There are many tools underneath that process what happens in the video, kind of what is happening, creating what is happening in what time frame, and then adjusting sounds to the video. Time for a summary. Yes, we still tend to think that AI tools enhance your process or fastens your process, but with the tools like this, it still takes even more time than the traditional work, especially with the video and with the sounds, because sometimes there's more post-production work. You have to do more cleaning, more stitching, more iteration. So there is a saying that when there is a gold rush, be in the shovel business. So at the moment, it feels like Runway is at the shovel business. So people are really spending a lot of money to getting more credits, and you burn those credits by doing the same scenery again and again and again, because you want to get it right. And I hope that you have gotten the idea that there is no one magical tool that does everything, but in the pipeline, you need many different kind of AI tools. This is good at this spot, this is good at this spot, this is good at this spot, and there's still manual work. But the main rule is that if you use bad material as your input, bad resolution image for your video, of course, the video is going to look garbage as well. And even sometimes it's going to multiply the mistakes what are in the picture. And to hear more, follow me on LinkedIn if you still don't do it. And
Thank you for attending my session. I hope you found it helpful. Please follow me on LinkedIn, where I post about AI regularly. Goodbye.
Great. Thank you so much, Krista. That was amazing. And you've used so many different tools, not just Runway. So thank you for taking us through everything from like rotoscoping, all the sound engineering side of things. Really super interesting. In terms of the bias that you've come across with trying to get, women's hands and that side of things, what would you suggest is the best way to kind of overcome that bias, or what could those tools do to improve the experience for women in particular?
That's an excellent question. Context is the king, or should I say here queen? You have to define your prompt that it understands that what you really want. But in this case, it didn't really help, because I have woman's hands. I used twice a woman and a female to get like trying to understand that no male's hands. And then even I used reference image which showed polished nails. So I don't have any other ways anymore left. If the AI just generates hairy hands, it's like, okay, I have to now think of something else. And then I switch my plan.
Okay, interesting.
So
maybe it needs more training data of women's hands
in the gaming.
So it must be a lack of training data there.
Yeah.
And then the videos that are created at the moment, and the ones that you've also seen from other AI filmmakers, have you seen any significantly long AI movies, or are they at the moment kind of trailer length?
The longest one has been music videos
Okay.
or ads. So
Ads as well.
ads as well. Yeah, Under Armour ad was one of the recent ads that was using a lot of.
I would love to get your perspective on that, because it actually got quite a bit of backlash in the press that, oh, you know, they're getting rid of creative teams and they're just using these AI tools. And then they came back and they showed the whole process, and they showed how complex it was, and the fact that they're using, you know, AI tools to create the images, and then they're compositing those images, and then they're using VFX, and it was incredibly complex. But
Yes.
what is your response to that? Because I know the ad industry in particular are also starting to try and ban the use of AI. So what would you, if you were speaking to an ad agency or Under Armour or one of these companies that were thinking about using these AI tools, what would you suggest?
The first thing is that the first reaction is going to be negative. It's not a big surprise. So be prepared for that reaction. And as Under Armour did, be open. Many people don't still understand the effort behind the AI tools, as I tried to show. It's the effort is there, and you have to be sometimes, I think, even more creative because of the limitation of these tools. You have to come up workarounds around these tools. What kind of things you can do. So yes, my suggestion is that be prepared for the reactions. They will go also down very quickly. So it's going to be social media is like that. It's building like that. And little by little, people start to understand what more similar kind of things. It's going to be more normal. So don't be afraid and be open.
I wonder if, because Under Armour created that video, like the making of afterwards, after they got the bad press, but maybe if they had already created that to begin with. So here's the ad, but by the way, if you want to look at how we did it, you can watch it here, and we can even teach you the process, and then people feel like, oh, okay. That would maybe get more of a positive reaction. And then my other question, have you come across, in terms of the virtual production side of things, have you come across tools like Kubrick and some of those new tools? So what they do is they use stable diffusion to create the images, and then they will layer them. And I think it's quite hard when it comes to virtual production, because you need such big assets. You need them really upscaled.
Yeah.
Have you come across that? Any tools to like upscale to the size of these big?
Yeah, actually, I don't see that is a problem with AI tools. If the image is produced with AI, they scale up very nicely, because if the image is produced with AI, another AI tool can calculate more pixels. So it's easier to scale that kind of image than the traditional bitmaps.
That's interesting. So could there, in theory, be a way to automate the AI tool? So you have your little movie, for example, and then you have the super, super, super high resolution for, you know, a big out of home ad, you know, Piccadilly Circus, or virtual production, or some of these immersive spaces, but then at the same time have a smaller one for just on your social media and on your mobile phone. Do you think that would be possible as well?
Yeah, they are actually going to things that the content that you produce for social media, which is usually consumed with these phones. So the resolution is not that big, and that doesn't have to be high quality. And that is sort of, these many tools are production ready already. But when you talk about those LED walls or 8K productions, the small mistakes or fake things, they are more visible. So there is actually more time to be spent that they don't look that fake. For example, to make those layers, it's not enough because it looks dead. So there usually is added some animations, like the clouds are moving or the leaves are moving. And then of course, old-fashioned fans are added to that.
That's great. That's so interesting. So last question is, so you showed the Titanic video, and then from the video you created the sounds. Did you input the video and then the sounds came out? And so my question is there a way to do it the other way around? So say you've got, I don't know, Spotify playlist. Could you put that in an AI tool and then get out the music video?
In this case, I produce the sound first, and then I produce the video. But pretty soon, I think there is going to be that you can download the video, and then it matches the sounds. And with the music video, you can already do that you download sound, and then you prompt styles. Again, it's a very black box what comes out, but you can have dramatic animations that are matching to the sound in the background.
Okay, fantastic.
So it's actually very nice how you can mix and match 3D to video or video to 3D. And now I already saw an anime video with the Domo looking more like real. So there was anime girl, and then they transferred that to looking like a real woman.
Wow, that's fantastic. Great. Well, thank you so much for your time today. Do you have any last thoughts for anyone who's completely new to AI and wants to get involved? Maybe they're in the film industry. Do you have any last sort of words of advice?
Just get started. I know it's first threshold that putting your credit card into these tools, but if you want to get started, there is only this much you can do for free, and then you have to start paying if you want to learn more.
Okay, perfect. All right. Well, thanks a lot and have a great day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.